There are three main archetypes of people in HEMA: the competitor, the meaning seeker, and the fun addicted. Hello HEMA friends and welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to talk about the three main archetypes of people you may find at the average HEMA club. Of course, every person is a small universe of beliefs, desires, objectives and flows, but no matter what, they end up fitting mostly into one or at best two of these categories. Let's start by giving a look to the competitor first. The competitor is that kind of person which is obsessed by victory. In the most virtuous kind of example, they may end up containing this and releasing it only in tournament environments and sparring matches. But in the worst case scenario, they want to also win exercises, warm-ups and even discussions at any cost. Most of the efforts made by this kind of archetype are explicitly directed toward victory, so they are that kind of person which studies the rule set of a tournament in the most precise and obsessive way possible. Moving the sword around is mainly or only a mean to achieve victory over the opponent in the most pragmatic and realistic way possible. They mostly don't care about reconstructing historical sword fighting, they are ready to use any trick possible to win matches and medals. For the competitor, HEMA is clearly only a 21st century practice with crowbars and fancy equipment. They don't see any kind of reconstruction or roleplay element into it. Talking about roleplaying, competitors tend to be that kind of person that in roleplay games goes for min-maxing, power playing and metagaming. The competitor mindset is something that goes beyond sports, of course. So competitors tend to be good salesmen, entrepreneurs, pro players, lawyers and professionals in fields where strategy, optimization and measurable performance are central. Most about them revolves around metrics, outcomes and demonstrable progresses. They thrive in structured environments with clear rules and often struggle or grow impatient in more ambiguous, philosophical or process-oriented kind of context. Competitors admire efficiency, precision and measurable superiority, and may perceive less goal-oriented archetypes as naive, unserious or even inefficient. The strengths of the competitor are discipline, high efficiency, competitive edge and resilience under pressure, while the weaknesses are tunnel vision, poor sportsmanship sometimes, and the lack of historical or ethical sensitivity. The meaning seeker. This is the person for whom HEMA is not just a physical discipline, but a vocation, a form of intellectual and even moral exploration. They are the ones who spend hours reading treatises and historical sources, not only to learn techniques, but to understand the worldview of the masters who wrote them. For the meaning seekers, fencing is a doorway to something deeper. The mindset of a knight, the ethics of the duel, the relationship between violence and justice, or even the metaphysics of the conflict. Their motivations often go beyond the visible. Some are drawn to history and identity, while others are philosophically inclined, fascinated by ideas like honor, discipline and archetypes. They sometimes seek personal transformation using the sword as a mirror for the self. The meaning seeker sees the chaos of fighting and feels the need to put order into it. They value precision not as a tool for winning, but as a way to be true to the art. They might ask long questions about intention, context and interpretation. They tend to be kind of allergic to gaming the rules and often get frustrated when other people cut corners or approach the art in a superficial kind of way. They love structured lores, epic stories, symbolic acts and coherency. In terms of role-playing games, they tend to be the role player. They are obsessed by creating a coherent character with habits, ideals, and so on and so on. They are oriented toward careers such as historians, judges, philosophers, and any other activity which requires introspection and tendency toward order, justice, and identity. The strengths of the meaning seeker are depth, coherency, historical awareness, and ethical clarity. The weaknesses instead are overthinking, idealism and difficulty adapting to pragmatic scenarios. The fun addicted. This is the person who got into HEMA because they saw people in fancy protections hitting each other and thought, that looks awesome. They are driven by play, novelty and social energy, and for them the sword is mainly a toy and a way to escape the routine of life and feel alive. They are often extroverted and expressive, the ones who make jokes during drills, quote movies in the middle of a sparring, or invent weird cross-weapons games with no other reason than having fun. Fun-addicted may be very talented sometimes, but they need constant stimulation to stay engaged. And sometimes they also find hard to remain fit for training, also due to the same reason. If training becomes too repetitive, too dry or too strict, they start to lose interest. Their progress tends to come in waves. They improve fast when they are excited, and then they plateau or vanish when the motivation drops. They don't usually care about medals or manuscripts, but they love trying new weapons, going to events or posting cool sparring clips online. Eventually, they might turn into competitors or meaning seekers over time, especially if they are mentored well, but their core drive remains fun, adrenaline and especially community. While participating to roleplay games, the fun-addicted is that extremely fun or extremely boring player who goes for nonsense kind of solutions to problems, does funny voices, doesn't take it seriously, and exploits situations at cost of coherency with its own character. Fun-addicted are very good as entertainers, event organizers, musicians, comics and influencers. The strengths of this archetype are enthusiasm, approachability, adaptability and good vibes, while the weaknesses are inconsistency, lack of depth and avoidance of hard or boring work. If someone after losing a tournament match says, "I don't care if I lost, that was epic," and they actually seem genuine in saying it, that's your fun-addicted. Very good people, I hope you will find this video useful, meaningful or fun. And as always, remember to check my Patreon, link in the description if you want to support me and the channel. Thanks for watching as always, and see you next time.